Can we talk about why this peptide is so magical? I've been doing it for the last week, and only from few doses, I was like, wow. And you call me every other day, you check on me, see how I'm doing. And I'm like, Alexander, this is like, I feel like if I was meditating for 2-3 hours every day, I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling chill. I'm not so, because I do have slight ADHD. So I'm like, once I get up, I'm like, oh my God. And it kind of stresses me out sometimes just from my own routine. And that brought me down. And just a little quick story. When 10 years ago, before my daughter was born, I was actually meditating for 2-3 hours every day because I was single. I had plenty of time. And so I know what it feels when you do meditate for 2-3 hours, how your body feels, how your conscience feels, how you perform. And I stopped doing that. I mean, I don't have time being a mom, a businesswoman, doing podcasts. I mean, if I have 10-15 minutes a day, that's all I get from my meditation. And this particular peptide, please talk about this, is changing how I feel.
I love to talk about methamphetamine. Many people know the name of endorphins. Endorphins are our inner system inside our body. We are able to produce opioid-like molecules that fight pain, that calm us down, that provide many other effects, including helping to regenerate our cells, cell resilience, and even elongate our telomeres. Endorphins. But the problem is that with stress, with everything that you describe that happened to you for the last 10 years, you have less and less time to calm down, to take a deep breath, to meditate. All these activities increase our levels of endorphins. And then the less endorphins we have, the less receptors on the surface of cells we have to meet them. And sometimes a lack of endorphins actually triggers search for substances in people. People look for substance of abuse because they lack endorphins and they live in a state of chronic pain, either physical or mental, and they in search of something that can alleviate this pain. So methamphetamine helps us to grow more receptors for endorphins on the surface on our cells. It makes the population of receptors to endorphins more dense, and it creates opioid-like effects without using opioids. Our own endorphins meet receptors, a more dense population of receptors on our cells, and affect our central nervous system, immune system, in the way that similar to long hours of meditation, of breathing exercises, something very healthy and very helpful if we can do it. And at the same time, we learn more and more about receptors to endorphins and their effects. As I mentioned, it's extremely important for slowing down aging. Years ago, back when I was in the former Soviet Union, we had a meeting with people from India. They were leading Ayurvedic doctors, and they had studied people who meditated, yogis, and they found that their prolonged life and rejuvenating effects were related to higher than normal, few times higher than average person levels of endorphins in the system of practitioners. But with methamphetamine, we're able to reproduce this effect, increasing the number of receptors. Even if we don't have a lot of endorphins, the action and effect is few times higher because we have more receptors to respond to them. And that's amazing. Methamphetamine also studied for anti-cancer effects, for effects regulating immune system, for autoimmune and inflammatory conditions. Yes, it improves sleep, and definitely it reduces cortisol spikes.
My friend, she's been doing the same, and she's going through really hard time right now, one of her hardest time in her life. And I know, knowing her, she would be crying, she would be depressed, she would be just going crazy. Being on methamphetamine right now, she's chilled. I'm like, Oksana, how are you doing? She's like, well, life will show. She's like really chilled. I'm like, wow, this is so incredible. So thank you so much. And I know the dosage is really important. Even for me, it's different than for hers. And then we had to switch from night to morning because we had these, we didn't sleep well. So having a practitioner knows how to carefully advise these peptides are so important that we're going to be talking about on this podcast all the time.